Hello, entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year that's tied to your 25-year vision and 5 year moonshot. I do it through weekly sprints and 90-day leaps. This is the Pioneers Academy podcast, and I'm on a mission to make a million pioneers. And I thought this podcast channel will help you achieve your 3 year goal and jump to the next level. I'm going to be showing lots of training and lots of great episodes, so join on this podcast and get all the training and resources you need to achieve your 3 year goal in 1 year and make yourself a pioneer. I wrote 13 books, Becoming a Pioneer, and you can get all those 13 books on Amazon. We're going to give away to every listener who listens on this podcast a $100 Amazon gift card so you can get all the books and learn how to become a pioneer.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Pioneers Academy podcast, where we bring you practical strategies, breakthrough ideas, and inspiring conversations to help entrepreneurs grow their business and achieve lasting success. I'm your host, April, and thank you again for joining us for another exciting episode. Today's topic is AI mortgage processors. And joining us once again is our very own business strategist, entrepreneur, best-selling author, and the founder of Broadsport Achievers, none other than Bimal Shah. Hi, Bimal. Welcome back to our episode today.
Thank you for having me here, and really excited to talk about today's topic because it's very specific to a very specific industry where we built a very innovative product that does the entire soup to nuts work that is done behind the scenes in an industry by a lot of people, and they can now put their effort and energy to much better, more productive, and more creative tasks and outcomes. Those are AI mortgage processors. As you know, in the mortgage industry, a lot of work is just done behind the scenes where people, do a lot of work in the computer, in systems and platforms, connecting, transferring data, structuring things, sending information one from one point. So that's all of the things, we're going to talk about today, and how an AI mortgage processor can do everything from soup to nuts behind the scenes.
Well, Bimal, this is certainly an exciting topic, and especially for businesses looking to streamline their operations. So let's jump right into our first question. So you collaborate with teams that automate document heavy, regulated operations. So what does an AI mortgage processor actually do day to day inside a mortgage business?
So think about, mortgage processor, they have very repetitive loan processing task. Every time there's a loan inquiry, loan application, loan submission, there is, process that they have to go from beginning to end of data that needs to go from one platform, one system to another, fields that have to connect, data that has to, structure. So that's one of the tasks that the AI mortgage processor does. Second thing, it organizes information and sequencing and systematic flow. So it will take the data, organize the information, structure it, pass it on to the systems that it's needed, connect it, all the structures, all the platforms, all the data points, all the fields, and pass it on from one point to another. And the most important part, it reduces the manual follow-up work that is required after that. So which is, causes the delay in the processing of mortgage applications. So that is, their day-to-day job. And it's like, having a team that does all of this. And now the team that you have actually that's doing this can actually focus their effort on more productive and creative task of getting more business in the door. And when that is focused, now you scale your business so high because now you have more time to focus on building and getting new business rather than processing the business.
That's a great explanation, Bimal, because I think many people don't realize just how many moving parts are involved in processing a mortgage application. And with this, having an AI assist with those day-to-day responsibilities can really free up valuable time while helping the team stay organized and responsive. No, thank you for that. There's a lot of manual work in mortgage processing, following up on conditions, like what you have said, like sending status updates and collecting documents. How can AI handle this task so processors reclaim hours every day without sacrificing accuracy or compliance?
So think about us, whenever we get a reminder, we may be running late or we miss that reminder or we don't handle the task when it's supposed to be done and it gets delayed. But an AI always gets the reminder at the exact time it needs to be done and gets it done in the time because everything is structured in a way and the complete system is built where whatever needs to be done in the specified time frame is tested to be done in a specified time frame. So once it goes through the testing phase, all the tasks are done and track automatically. The reminders happen. And as soon as the reminder and updates happen, they go to the places that needs to happen. And the reminders can be sent, via email to the client that this happened, that happened, or whatever, whichever platform, or they need to go to the company's internal emails, whatever is dictated by the custom design by the client is what happens. And there's no delays caused by bottlenecks because everything is done in the specified time and tested to be done in the specified time frame. So that's kind of like how the whole system works behind the scenes.
That's impressive, Bimal. Instead of spending hours on repetitive administrative work, mortgage professionals can focus more on serving clients with the help of this AI, reminding them to have this task done. So, thank you for that. Can you also walk us through a real or even an illustrative example of how a mortgage company used AI enabled workflows to track conditions, route documents, and automatically keep borrowers, loan officers, and agents updated throughout the process?
So let's take an example, just a brief overview from beginning to end. A person comes to a website, and checks out, someone's in loan and does a pre-qualification. So pre-qualification link then goes to a formal application link, and the formal application link goes to a, submission into the system. So the whole structure and system can be, built through AI and automation where once it goes, it feeds into the system, it takes the data into the system from one system to another, and then it takes the fields and maps out and looks at all the things, then sends the or document request. Once the document requests are done, then the documents are uploaded where they need to be uploaded. And once they're uploaded, they go to the place where they need to go to get to the bank who actually needs to the underwriter. So imagine this entire system from beginning to end getting to the underwriter in the when the AI mortgage processor didn't exist, the journey from the pre-qualification to getting the documentation and the information to the underwriter itself was several months. Now that is just cut down to like days or just like quick boom boom boom. Is how fast the customer responds to the request, and they are being told and they are being followed up. So even the follow-up happens. Hey, if they haven't responded, there's a follow-up email that goes to. So imagine that whole journey of several months now just done in just very like record time, unbelievable time through this whole system.
That's so impressive, Bimal. And, it really demonstrates how AI can improve communication and make the entire mortgage process smoother for everyone involved. Thank you for that example, Bimal. Now, many mortgage companies already use CRMs or origination systems, but they often feel they're only using a small portion of what those platforms can do. How does an AR mortgage processing layer work alongside those systems to maximize their capabilities?
A great question. So what happens is, we layer the AI to work on top of the existing system and what is being currently used. So we take all the systems that there and so what parts of the system are currently being used by the company to structure and build this. So we then structure the whole custom design of the AI mortgage processor and built it so that it uses what is being need to use to get the job done. Now, in technology, you don't need to use everything, but you need to use what you need to use to get the job done. So we find out what are the essential elements that are needed to be used to get the job done, and we move it from point A to point B and put the whole sequence and whole system that flows through so automatically, so fast, that now you literally can grow a business, scale a company with a lean staff And the lean staff is focused on more productive, human, creative tasks and outcomes that can actually scale and grow the business.
Mm. That's a really important point. In order for them not to also feel overwhelmed, like you don't have to use the whole AI structure, but what also important is what you really need from this AI that is only suitable for your business. Thank you, Bimal. Now, business owners often worry about compliance, security, and also risk. What governance, audit trails, and access controls do you recommend when implementing AI into a mortgage processing workflow?
So when this is done, all their data and sensitive data is encrypted and everything is done in a, structured, systematic, secure platforms with, multi-factor authentication, all that stuff that is built into it. So that this way, it's all structured and systematic. And then that only the person who needs to see it and only the person where in the place where it needs to go, it's where the data gets transferred and it's easily accessible, and then you can log in and check the data that is being uploaded. So the customers also have access. Hey, this is what I submitted, this is what's there, this is what's so it's completely transparent and auditable, and then it also stays compliant. So with this whole system that is built, it is totally secure and compliant with all the controls that are put into place.
That's reassuring to hear, Bimal, because in an industry where compliance is so important, having the right safeguards in place gives business owners the confidence to embrace AI while protecting both their business and their clients. So thank you for that once again. Now, if a small or mid-sized mortgage company wants to take the first step, how can they use your free AI strategy to build a practical 90-day implementation plan without disrupting their existing workflow or overwhelming their team?
Yeah, so we ask some simple questions to understand what your goals are, what you're looking for, and build you a framework. And if you like what you see, you can implement it and see some of the results for yourself if that is taken care of. And then if we can take the next step. So there's a link in the show notes below. Click on the show notes. We also have, the website where you can go, the Ideal AI Navigator, and check it out, and then you'll see the results for yourself, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you, Bimal. I really like that approach. Like small, intentional steps often lead to the biggest long-term results. So check those links below, everyone, for those who are listening. Now, you've written an incredible collection of books, Bimal, that help entrepreneurs grow their business. Which among your books series focus on AI strategies, grants, and accessing free money, and how our listeners can get a copy?
So I've written and published a complete book series, Becoming a Pioneer, and it's a complete integrated book series. So book number 6 specifically talks about all the technological platforms that exist, that are many of the platforms that are out there, and then what it's used for, what it's not used for, what is good for, and what not to do with it, and all those things. And so that's a great start. And because all these books are integrated and it's a complete system, I'm giving away $100 Amazon gift card for you to use. So please utilize the $100 Amazon gift card, get all the books, and then utilize the system. And in the way it's written, even if you spend 5 minutes or 2 minutes on any one of the books and you read one page or one paragraph, it asks you a question. So something clicks, something happens, and you can implement that idea and it will make a difference. So the way the books or the entire series is designed, that even if you read one paragraph, one sentence or something, it will create something that you'll be forced to create, and you will write in the book, and then you create something that can take it to the next level. So get the $100 Amazon gift card and make yourself a pioneer. Hello, pioneers and entrepreneurs. My name is Bimal Shah. I'm on a mission to make pioneers out of entrepreneurs by helping you achieve your 3-year goal in 1 year that is tied to your 25-year vision and 5-year moonshot. I do it through 90-day leaps and weekly sprints and through my own proprietary 4 leap system. I've also written 13 books, the Becoming a Pioneer series. I've founded the Pioneers Academy, the Pioneers platform, and several resources that help you on several different platforms, the Thrive platform, Transform platform, and Transcend platform. So these are resources and tools that I built for you to double your business in a year and scale exponentially and become the only one in your business.